Welcome to another daily challenge. This one's going to be a pretty big subject, but I thought I would cover another pseudoscience that is very prevalent still today, and that is dowsing rods. I have a score to compete with, 35,000, so let's get to it. If you don't know what dowsing rods are, I might as well cover that first. They're also called various other things. In general, dowsing rods are used either sticks or metal rods that you hold, and you'll hold two of them in your hand, and you walk around, and they're supposed to cross when you find what you're looking for, and you're supposed to be, I guess, spiritually tuned to it so that you can detect what you're looking for. Typically, it's water. And those have been tested scientifically. In 1949, I took a bunch of notes on the side, so these should be useful. But in 1949, in Maine, the American Society for Psychical Research had 27 dowsers try and find sources of water without any landmarks. So they had sources of water in an area that had no distinct landmarks that would give away where the water was, and they all failed to find it. To quote it, they failed completely to estimate either the depth or the amount of water to be found in the field free of surface clues to where water is, whereas the geologist and an engineer successfully predicted the depths found in 16 sites on the same exact field. And I should really not read while I walk. That trap got me while I was walking. Sorry, damsel. If you feel like you're being used, you are. And then in 1987 and 1988 in Germany, more than 500 dowsers had 10,000 double-blind tests set up by physicists in a barn near Munich. And what they found was that there were about 47 people that were seemingly reliable dowsers, that they would get results more often than the others. But what they found was that those 47 people only had a very small handful who actually could find something again. And really, when they went down to it and they did all the tests and they looked at all the data, they found that it really was more attributed to random chance. So, the people who were supposed to be good at dowsing ended up being about the same as the people who weren't in the long run. Now, that's just dowsing rods for water. Something that's troubling, and the reason why I'm actually doing this, is that dowsing rods are actually still prevalent in society, but they're being used to find drugs and bombs and various other things that people might want to search for. This is going to be really interesting playing and reading from my notepad. The main one that I wanted to talk about, I might as well get taken care of now. It is called the ADE 651, and it was sold to Iraqi forces as a bomb detector from someone in the UK. ATSC Limited is the name of the company. And they sold, I can't remember the number, I didn't write it down, but they sold a lot of devices worth 60,000 each. Every single piece was worth 60,000. They sold 85 million worth. And what these devices are that they spent 60,000 on each were a box of plastic, a black box of plastic, with an antenna sticking out one side of it that can pivot. And there was fake or useless electronics attached. That spider's going to be a pain. I think I'm just going to... Actually, he looks like he's stuck, unless he crawls out that side. I'm just going to get out of here. Fake or useless electronic was hooked up to it, and it was a card reader. And what they claimed was that you would have a card for drugs, you would have a card for bombs, a certain type of explosive type, and you would put that card into the reader, and that would tune it to the specific thing you wanted it to look for. Ugh, I knew I should have just dropped the rock. I was going to jump over to that spot right there and drop it. Good thing I covered the big one first. So, yeah, those are actually being used right now by Iraqi forces, despite the fact that Americans have tried to warn them against it. I guess I can imagine why they wouldn't trust Americans to be telling them the truth about that. But that's just one example. Let's see if I can read another example without getting myself killed. Where is it? Dielectrokinetic Labs device is supposed to detect human life in the form of heartbeat, apparently, through steel or concrete. So it's supposed to be for emergency forces. And those are sold... Oh, damn it! Those are sold at $6,000 to $14,000 each. Another one is the Quadro Tracker, which is just a plastic box and an antenna, and it's sold out of Harleyville, South Carolina, and it was sold for $1,000 to $8,000 each. Another one is Global Technical, sold the GT200 to Mexican police and to the Thai Army. The Mexicans think that it's a drug detector, and the Thai Army thinks it's a bomb detector. And a more innocent one that gives you an example of the kind of cop-outs that you can get for why they don't work is there's one called the Treasure King System 2000, and it's supposed to be for treasure hunters. Apparently, if it doesn't work, then it is because the user is, quote, not conductive, whatever that means. So it basically just means you're not channeling your magical energies well enough for it to work. So that's just the kind of cop-out that they give. But these are very serious things, and I will try and link you at least to the news story that's related to the ADE 651 so that you can see how utterly ridiculous this is. So yeah, that's another example of pseudoscience in real life, and I've learned today that reading from notes is not going to work while playing Spelunky. Have a good rest of your day.